So if you want to follow along and check out all of the Shure microphones, we're going to do a little bit of a show and tell for the Shure microphones that I have and have used. So if you're excited for that, I hope you follow along. Pretty sure I have a link down below so you can follow along on Amazon. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with, where should we start? Let's start with the Shure MV51. This is one of my absolute favorite mics that Shure has put out. It has this retro look and feel. I'm gonna pull it up here. Yeah, I mean, is this not the coolest looking microphone? This has always been one of my very, very favorites. So it's constructed and of metal. And then you can see at this bottom here, it's actually kind of screwed into a separate, I got this microphone stand on Amazon, of course. But, it actually comes with, like, a little round nub at the bottom of the microphone, so it kinda sits down at an angle and just kinda, like, hangs out on your desk. I put it on this microphone stand, so it's actually a little bit taller, and I like it better that way. But it's really I just think it's the best retro looking cool microphone, and it has these touch buttons along the front, so this is actually really neat because you can actually use your finger as a slider to have the microphone go up and down. There's also a quick mute button here, which is so handy, and I don't know why, but some of the more expensive mics don't have a quick mute. I just feel like you need one. You need one. Okay. So in here as well, if you hit the mode button, which is in the center of the mic, then it actually can cycle through these different presets that are programmed into the mic. So there's ones like speaking or flat or acoustic and music or large hall or, recording music, anything like that. So you can actually then touch and it will cycle through all of the different modes. And then if you want to dial in your settings even more, they have a Shure Motive app that you can download on your phone and on your computer. And you can go in and tweak some additional settings as well. So that's really awesome. And then over here, they actually have a headphone, like a mute type option, which is nice too. And then there's, like I said, the quick mute button over here. And you can just slide up and down, and this will actually light up in green as it's doing it. And then it will give you like a little red color for if it's muted. And then another nice thing about this one is if you look on the back, it actually has a headphone jack, so you can do your headphone monitoring. Super duper helpful. There's actually a few mics in here that don't have that built in, so it's really nice that this already has it built in. This also comes with a plethora of cables, so it has like the micro USB connection, which is what this one is, micro USB, so that you can actually go into like USB-C or you can go into the USB-A type traditional one. Additionally, if you were to purchase, there is the cable. It's the replacement cable because in some kits you get it, and we can talk about that later. In some, you can just add it and then still use it. There is the micro USB to lightning cable, which is a surprisingly very hard cable to get. And Shure actually makes one, and they say it's 15 inches, but I mean, you're really measuring from like tip to tip because it seems like a much shorter cable than that to me, in my own opinion. But that's just my opinion. So this is the Shure MV51. Love this mic. I think it's so cool. It's one of the ones I've had the longest, and just yes, I love this one. Hey, James Pruitt, great to see you. Is it morning where you are? Where are you watching? How's your daughter doing? It's nice to see you. By the way, how does it look and sound? Please tell me because I'm trying out a new encoder, a new streaming service. I signed up for a new service, and so I've been running all kinds of experiments. I did a get ready with me this morning on this makeup look, and when I was watching it back, I was like, "Ooh, I was a little concerned. I don't know if it looks the greatest." So I'm trying a different configuration right now, so please let me know how it looks and sounds. Okay? Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's go ahead and move into, since we're kind of on the smaller mics, let's go ahead and move into the MV88 series. So it's going to be these ones right here. There are a few different models of this, so let's go ahead and talk about this because they are all a bit different. So the very first one, I love this one because it packs up so small. It's great for traveling because when you get into some of the others, then you end up having like a little pouch with like a little roll with all these different cables, which is great and awful all at the same time. So I'm glad to hear she's doing better. I'm glad to hear that she'll be home soon. Oh, good. Is the audio actually syncing up with the video as well? I was having a problem where it was like a good 5-second delay, and I was like, "Oh, no, that's not great watching that." Okay. So the very first one, I know you've probably seen me talk about all of these mics before, but I wanted to go with something that I have that am familiar with. So this is going to be the MV88, not to be confused with the 88 Plus, not to be confused with the 88 USB Plus. Okay, so this is the original MV88. Okay, and this little guy here, which is so interesting. So I took off the little windscreen here, which is this little circular guy that goes on here. This one had the actual adapter built in for the lightning port for your phone, iPhone or iPad or something that was still using lightning. So the good thing is you didn't need anything else. Like it was just these two pieces and it packed up nice and tight in this little travel container. The bad thing is if you have a particular case across the bottom that doesn't allow for the entire bottom part to really be open, then it was a really hard time because you would have to take the phone out of the case for this to come on. But it does have really great sound. Another drawback of this microphone, though, is if you can call it that, if you are plugged into a phone, you actually have this angle where it's going to come upright and then it's going to come flat. So you have a 90-degree articulation, but you can't actually bring it back the other way. So for you to be able to bend it downwards instead of upwards, you would have to remove the microphone from your iOS device, flip it over, and then be able to turn it. It's not a huge deal, but it was sometimes inconvenient depending on, if you're in the middle of shooting some particular video to be like, oh, wait, let me just turn around, plug this in, and like change it. So something to keep in mind. Let's see. Audio sync is good. Yes. Good, 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 good. Okay. So this is going to be the MV88, obviously only going to be good for people with iOS devices that still have a lightning port. Also, keep in mind then that if this is plugged into the bottom, it's usually you're going to have the battery power and you need to be plugged in. So depending on if you're someone who streams for a super long time, this may not be the thing for you because how are you going to charge it? Is it going to be wirelessly? It's still at the same time. You might have a harder time with that. So something to keep in mind as well. Also, if you're someone who's going to be annoyed by the fact that you have to unplug it, turn it around, and change it, that may not be the greatest for you. But if you like the size and portability of it, you're going to like this. Another thing, just like on this mic that had the different polar patterns, and you can change up kind of like the recording options, you can actually do the same in here if you open the Shure Motive app. So you're going to be able to do things like change it from left to right stereo. So you can see on this side, hopefully there's L over here and there's an R over here. So if you were kind of doing one of these types of things, you could have someone on either side of you. You could be doing an interview almost like a left to right. You can do a cardio type of pattern where it's almost like a little heart enveloping what's in front of you. So keep that in mind. They have these different options inside of the software. And the little mic itself has a built-in memory. So whatever you last used it as, it will continue to be that setting until you go back into the app and change it. So really good for not having to think about it, but maybe not the best if you're not great at thinking on the fly about changing the different types of situation. But all around, great mic, super portable and easy to travel with. I love this one. So as you can see, the little inside case fits perfectly with the little notches here. So you literally zip it up, and this is it. This is the whole thing. So you can see why this is super attractive because the alternative to this and Step Up, I don't know if you want to call it a Step Up, but the next version in this series was kind of like this guy. So, it was a different adapter, and I'll tell you why I did a different adapter here in a second. But this is going to be the MV88 Plus video kit, which is also kind of like it's a mouthful, right? Okay, so the MV88 Plus video kit. As you can see with this one, it came with kind of like a white labeled Manfrotto Pixie type of stand. So if you don't need this little stand, you're still paying for it in this kit because it's all one kit. So actually, up until recently, you couldn't really buy a lot of these, like the mic pieces separately. Now you kind of can. So I guess that's something to keep in mind. But this is really kind of that mobile vlogging, or maybe you're going to set this up at home, keep it on a table, and not really move it a lot. You could have this be your main setup. Add a light, you're good to go. So with the bottom, we can talk about this. The Manfrotto Pixie is basically what this is. It has a little articulating ball head up here. You depress this little front button here, and then you can kind of move this around at different angles. Something to keep in mind, though, is it will never get completely like to a 90-degree. It's actually just going to be at like a 45 at best. So if you have something that's on here, you're never going to get truly vertical with it. And now that may or may not be a problem for you depending on how you shoot. For me, I love to make vertical video like TikToks and Instagram Reels and stuff like that too. So that was a problem for me. And the clip that comes with it from Shure is something, I'm just going to unscrew this real quick so you can kind of get an example. Is something more like this that actually just screws onto the base of the Manfrotto Pixie stand. So if you think about this, right, you can put your phone in and have it be horizontal, but you can't really move this to be vertical. You're only going to get a 45-degree. So I always thought that that was a little bit of a downfall of the last version of this from Shure. So for you to be able to do a truly vertical type of video, then you would have to either like unplug it and try and do it. And again, it's going to be a 45, or you get yourself some sort of additional rotating stand, something like this. But then you do have to get one that has the cold shoe adapter at the top, because we're going to talk about that here. So I would get something like this, which is the Kiwi one. And then you can then obviously go vertical, and then you open it up so it grips onto your phone. So this was the only way then to truly do a vertical one. So something to keep in mind if you want to do a lot of vertical video, you probably will have to get an additional type of stand. Okay. So that is going to be this guy. If you take a look at the top, though, what's really interesting about this one versus the other mic that I just showed you, which is the MV88, and this is the MV88 Plus, okay? This little guy here has a cold shoe like mount, so that you actually have to slide it into the top of your item and then kind of screw it down, which is great if you already happen to have like an adapter like this. But if you don't, you're going to have to make sure you buy something like this, right? And then the other thing is, if you take a look at what the container was for the other one versus this one, obviously it's already going to be larger than the case. And that was also because it has an entirely new mechanism. Now, the bad thing about this particular one, which is the MV88, if by some chance you actually happen to snap this or anything like that, you're just completely out of luck. You're just going to have to buy another microphone. Okay. They're like $150. And that's going to be a problem for some people if just that little piece breaks. Something like this, though, if your little adapter breaks, it's actually just a little horn here that holds the mic in it. Then you might be able to, find a replacement piece like this. Maybe, maybe not. Another thing to keep in mind, it does have the Shure logo and branding on it. So if you're someone who doesn't like the branding, there's not really a way to get out of that. And you're going to see that in almost all the rest of the mics that are going to be in the showcase. Yeah, you're going to see it. So very, very similar to the other one. It has the exact same windscreen, the little ice cream at the top. But you're going to see that the inside of these microphones look a lot different. So here we go between the two. So you can see that the capsule on this one, the entire thing is a lot taller. It's a lot bigger. And one of the reasons why they had to do that, this one was really shallow. This one obviously is like super thick, was because in the 88 Plus, they added the headphone jack for audio monitoring, which can be a really big deal, because if you want to make sure that you're hearing what you're recording and it's not completely blown out, you're not going to know that on this one until you go back and listen to the footage. With this one, you have at least an earlier indicator that you're going to be able to figure out what is going on with this. Okay. How are we doing out there? I don't know if James, you're still out there. Let me know if you're doing okay. And then if anyone else is out there, please follow along with us over on Amazon, because we're trying to make sure that everything is looking and sounding great, and so I'd love to get some more eyeballs on it. Okay. Um, and oh, shoot. There are people on. Okay, let me pull up the chat so I can actually see it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, and I can't do my super chat dance or anything because of the sorry, because I'm on Amazon. I'm actually trying out a new streaming service as well. So y'all let me know. How's it look? How's it sound? I did a run this morning doing a get ready with me. It wasn't the best. So I'm working through some kinks on it. Good afternoon to Craig Messine and Touch Can Jam and everything. The audio is a little fuzzy, or no, it's synced, but the video is slightly fuzzy. Okay. Okay, we'll keep that all in mind. Okay, I'll keep this up so I can see your guys' comments. Follow along, though. There is a link for the Amazon follow along there. I need followers for so you guys will get alerted for when I go live over here. Okay, so like I said, the capsules between this is going to be a lot different, and you're not really going to be able to pack it up as nice. So with this, as you can see, this one now is introducing the micro USB port here, whereas this one, since it was just Lightning, it was actually being powered from your phone. This one, you're bringing in an external source. It's still powered by your phone, but you need an additional cable. Now here comes the little pouch of cables. I will give it to them, though. They gave you a cable that was micro USB to Lightning, micro USB to USB-A, and micro USB to USB-C. So actually, cables-wise, it's a really good deal when it gives you all of the cables and it gives you the little Manfrotto Pixie stand. So you get all of that for the low bundle price, which is nice because the replacement cables themselves are like $25 a piece, and I've had to buy them. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But you're going to see then, you're going to always have to have this inserted into the little horseshoe like thing and then plugged into something, which means you can't have this on your phone and just be like, okay, yeah, let me just hold this and do the mic at the same time. Like, you really need to have it be inside of some sort of mount. So this is one of those you have to plan ahead because you are going to need more stuff, more gear, more cables, and it's just a different experience. So it's not good or bad, it's just different. So something to keep in mind. If you guys didn't see that, you just push down into it. It's kind of got a tension grip on it, and that will hold on. This entire thing is all black versus the other one, which was that like silver and gray, FYI. So that is the MV88 Plus kit. Now, before, you were never really able to buy just the microphone by itself if you wanted to do that. But now they actually did end up releasing a model that was without the Manfrotto Pixie stand, without the little phone holder. So maybe you don't want to pay for that stuff. They actually have, I was looking at this closely. It's the same mic. It's the MV88 Plus, but it's actually going to be the stereo USB version. So this is for someone who's really trying to simplify, really trying to like cut down on the size of stuff and just make it simple. Same micro USB attachment here, same headphone monitoring out jack here. The difference is when you get this in the kit, one, you don't get the lightning cable. You get the USB-C and USB-A type connections. So you get one less cable. And then you get this Shure branded microphone stand thing. So you do have to have some sort of arm or microphone stand to kind of like mount into, because I don't think most of you are gonna hang out with it like just here by your mouth. I just don't see that happening. You don't see the Amazon link? Oh boy. Let me see here. Okay. I'm not sure what link is in the description, but if you go to the Amazon store, I think it should take you to the Amazon Live. Hopefully, because I don't think I can do it while I'm on. I'm sorry. Or can I? Can I? Let me take a look here. The things that I do, and if I were on if I were using my usual setup with my soundboard and everything, I'd be able to at least play you a song in the meantime while you're watching. I feel bad I can't do it. Okay. So if you go to the Amazon page and the Amazon links, there's that. Let me see if there's something where I can share, copy. Okay, let me see if you guys get this. I think I just put the link. So hopefully, like I said, this is a test and experiment. So thank you for hanging in with me because I'm trying all kinds of different configurations, trying to live stream. And you guys know how difficult it has been to get this set up. So I'm actually just proud of myself that you're able to see anything right now. I'll tell you that. Okay, so that is the MV88 USB. So like I said, you would buy that one if you want to save a little bit of money from not needing to buy the Manfrotto, not needing to have the little cell phone holder, and you need one less cable. So there's that. Yeah. If you're over here on Amazon, say hello, Adam, by the way. And let me know if it's any less pixelated on Amazon. Okay, so that is going to be this one and this one. As you can see, like I said, this one with the little adapter for the cold shoe mount, this one with the screw-in thread adapter, which is usually the 3/8 size for your microphone stand, but essentially the exact same microphone. At least that's what it looks like to me. Yay! Hey, welcome. Thank you so much. If you want to follow me on Amazon, I think I have 2 followers now. You could be number 3. You could be number 3. All right, so we've talked about the 51, the 88, the 88 plus, the 88 plus USB. Now we are going to talk about the one that I'm actually talking on right now, and that is the Shure SM7B. So this guy, let me move it. Ta-da! This is that classic microphone. This is the one that's been beloved by so many people for so many years, and it's the one that Michael Jackson recorded Thriller on. A couple things to keep in mind with this. Excuse me. There's no headphone monitoring jack. Sorry. No headphone monitoring jack, no touch buttons. You will usually have to run this into some sort of audio interface. So right now I happen to be plugged into the Rode Procaster, whatever you call it, Rodecaster Pro. And before I was using the Scarlett 2i, and I was, of course, always using the Cloud Lifter to give it that up decibel gain. So that is just something else to keep in mind because you're not just going to be paying for the mic, you're actually going to be paying for the Cloud Lifter or some sort of preamp, the audio interface that it goes into, the multiple sets of XLR cables that you're going to be doing. And that's another thing. It's an XLR microphone, so keep that in mind. It's also a very heavy microphone, so you're going to have a very sturdy arm for it. This particular one that I got is it's a brand new one. It's a competitor to the Rode one that I'm trying out. And the thing that I don't like about the Rode PS1, PSA1, whichever one it is that if you start to rotate your mic, you always will run into the little screw knobs that are part of the Rode mount or whatever else you call it. This one doesn't have that particular thing, and it has the screw for it way over here in the corner. So it's easy. You could actually go all the way around. So there's that. So I think that I prefer this one. It's not as easy and free flowing as the Rode arm, but it's also half the price. So I also like that too. If you're interested in that, I can definitely link that particular one in this stream. I wasn't really talking about it and it wasn't really Rode, but there you go. Those are my thoughts on it right there. Thank you so much for following. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It keeps freezing. Maybe. Oh no. Oh, bummer. I'm trying so hard. We'll keep trying. I may have to try. So I'm trying a new service. It's called Flutin. I got it through an AppSumo deal. And so I'm forwarding through that. It has an interface very similar to StreamYard and Restream. And it has the multi-stream capability of things like Restream, but that's not what the stream is about. Just FYI. I tried this morning. I was doing virtual cam out of Ecamm into it. It was not good. This one I'm going directly from the browser and giving that a shot. We'll see. I'll also try going as an RTMP endpoint with Ecamm feeding into it as well with distribution. I will try all of them until I get the perfect mix of sound and not pixelated quality. So bear with me. Like I said, this is my second live stream. All right, we're going to be moving on. to the MV7s, MV7 USB, MV7Xs, however you want to say it. So let's switch over here. So when I was talking about the cheap kind of mic arms, that's going to be something more like this guy. Oops. Oops. I'm just knocking things over on my desk. This is the one from Newer. But this arm is only going to run you about $15. So if you have a lighter mic, it's really not so big of a deal. One thing I also don't like about the Rode PSA 1 Mark, whatever you whatever model it is if you don't have a mic on it, then the arm just like flies up in the air. And it scares me when that happens, so it's not been great. One thing I don't like about this type of cheaper one is that your fingers very often you'll end up getting some skin somehow pinched into this, and then the outside little coils will also get you, and then it's harder for the cable management. But let me show you this first mic here. This is the Shure MV7. Now, you're going to see that it looks very, very similar to the SM7B. In fact, I had done a comparison. One thing, though, to keep in mind, if you take off the little cap on this guy and take a look at it, it is significantly different than the SM7B. Let me see if I can show you. Sorry for the sound. Let me mute for a second. Maybe I can mute that so you don't have to hear it. One second. Okay, hopefully you guys didn't have to hear that. But you can see that the capsule is actually quite a bit different. One thing that I have been told is that you can buy replacement guys like this, put them on the little MV7, and it will help a lot more with the plosives, the S's and the hard P's and all of that kind of stuff. So that is definitely an upgrade that a lot of people will make. But you can see that this looks more like almost like a PG48 or a PG58 type of small handheld mic. So the top is significantly different than this long cage that's surrounding over here on the SM7B. Now, I think if I did it correctly, this mic is also plugged in. So I'm going to put the cap back on both, and I'm going to try and test both for you. And we're going to do a live demo, hopefully, with this. So if you are going to go with the MV7, definitely would recommend getting a little replacement cap like this. Sorry, let me mute. Okay, so this is the audio coming from the Shure MV7. I think that it sounds a little bit lighter and brighter, but you really have to be careful about the S's, like the dissonant sound, and the plosive, like the P's. So I've found that when you're using this mic, it's almost better to be a little bit farther away from it, because you're going to hear everything from the breath, the moisture, like everything. You're going to hear it all. Like when you're swallowing and taking a sip of coffee, like everyone's going to hear it. And it doesn't sound, I think, as warm as inviting. Now, this might be a really good microphone for someone who has like a very deep voice and commonly kind of sounds a little bit more muffled, muted, and like muddy on something like the SM7B. Something to keep in mind. Let me switch over. I'm going to mute this one. I'm going to go back to the Shure SM7B, and you guys can tell me which one you prefer. Okay, this is the Shure SM7B, and the thing about this particular mic is I'm the same distance from it, but I feel like this one has a little bit more of a warm, rich tone to it, and I just feel like I don't have to be as careful when it comes to the S's and P sound. I still have to be careful, but not as much as the other one. So here, I'll switch again. This is back to the Shure SM7. Ooh, see, even when I say Shure, like I have to be very careful about it. This is the Shure MV7. So one thing to keep in mind though is this mic, it has the ability to be hooked in through micro USB to a computer. It also has the ability to go XLR into a soundboard as well, like some sort of audio interface. So that's what the difference between this mic and the next mic is. That one that I knocked on the ground. Nope, here it is. Okay. So you may have seen the MV7, MV7X USB. They came out and they look the exact same. And they pretty much are the exact same, with the exception of this particular mic. I guess they're also calling it kind of like a podcasting mic. This one you see is missing the micro USB out. So this is only XLR. This particular mic is going to be XLR and it's going to have micro USB. So, hey, welcome to Amazon. Thank you so much. So one thing I definitely would recommend though, if I'm going to be setting this up, and the nice thing is with the Rode Procaster, it has 4 audio inputs. So I can actually have, if I was to do my podcast either on the road or here in the office, I can hook up multiple microphones, multiple inputs, and then have everyone still sounding great. In fact, if you guys want a video on the Rodecaster Pro, let me know because it's been pretty awesome. So, um, like I said, this has the exact same microphone cover. And let me mute this mic real quick and then I'll be able to show you. It looks the exact same, y'all. I mean, can we talk about this? I mean, it literally looks the same. Like, they're both, I mean, because you can actually get this microphone in black as well, I believe. So they both have the branding on it. It's either the black mic with the white branding or the, silver mic with black branding. The microphone capsule part looks the exact same. The microphone windshields look the exact same. Actually, that's a lie. This one has that light gray color. Um, this one is that black color to go with your mic. So there you go. Those are the 3. Hopefully you guys can see that. Hey, thank you so much for your follow. Appreciate that. Um, the video on YouTube's okay, but the video on Amazon is buffering on. Oh, okay. 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 Guys, keep giving me the feedback. I gotta know. I gotta test it all out. Okay. So is that all the mics that I believe? Oh, I was supposed to be shuffling through the different mics on screen. I forgot to do that. I didn't do it. My bad. Yeah, did I talk about all of the mics? Oh, by the way, I should also talk about the in-ear monitors that I'm using. That is, I've always used the Shure. These are the 215s, and technically they have the ability to, if you hook them up, um, you can like unplug the back and you can use like a Bluetooth cable battery thing. So you can have them be that. I don't. I actually just I use the headphone plug and then I plug them in to an extension cable and then I run that into my Rode Procaster. So that's how I monitor sound when I'm on any of my live streams. And I like these because they hook over the ear, and so they're fairly discreet as well. So I don't have to sit here with my huge headphones on. And they have this like the negative inversion. So if you were to wear these while you were sleeping, where most headphones are going to like stick out, this isn't going to happen because it fits on the inside of your ear and fits like flat on the outside. So I actually can, if I wanted to, like take a nap in these. And I think the sound quality is really good. So I've been using these for the past couple of years. I really love them. So just FYI, if you want to care, or if you care which in-ear monitors I use, those are the ones. You could also use these and plug them into the back of your Shure MV88 pluses and use that for your audio input. And then, is there anything else that we need to chat about? And by the way, who else has watched the like Harry Potter special, the 20th reunion? I might have cried. Anyways, this is a special wand from Memories. So there you go. I am a Harry Potter nerd. I'm a Harry Potter nerd. Are there questions that you have while I have you on here? Let me know. Let me know. Video's glitching. Okay. I'll have to come back and watch it. Hello, Chantel. Great to see you. We are testing out the Amazon live streaming. So hopefully you can follow along on Amazon Live and let me know how that's going, okay? You guys, not only is the Amazon Live working, but I was able to change my shop name over from that long influencer slash jumble of numbers into like a real URL now. So now I can actually go in and change that. I'm super excited about that. You know how long it's been that I've been fighting with all of this to get it working, and it's working now. So Yeah, I'm super excited. Okay, well, I hope that y'all have a wonderful Sunday. If any of you are, interested in following along on Amazon, please hit that follow button so that you'll get notified when I am going to be going live over there. We'll be doing a lot more live on Amazon. The reason why I was on um, simulcasting right now is just to be able to test it out, but I won't normally do that in the future. I'll stick to just one. So, thank you so much for spending some of your Sunday with me. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys are having such an amazing day. I have been feeling in the best mood this last couple of days. And I remember I put that out on Twitter. I was just like, I know it's not the best time. And like the world is in a state of, oh my gosh, but like I was just having a really good day. I was just like, I'm having a really good day. So I hope you guys have a really good day too. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you in a stream soon. Bye.